Good morning, people. Just a quick unboxing video on a Flir 1 Pro thermal camera. Basically, I've received this morning. Nice solid box. Quick diagnose issue, measures multiple spot at once, meter link device compatible, generate professional report. That's what it says, and that's what the box looked like. This is actually for the Android version, and it's the micro USB, because they do three types. One is for the iPhones, so that'd be the Lightning port. One will be Type C, and the one I have here is the micro USB to support the Android. And the Type C is obviously again for the Android as well. Right, so let's crack on with this. And there is a few things I will point out to yourself about the compatibility with the Android phones. So, and the adapters are available. So let me sort of unbox this first, and then we'll crack on. I'll try and mention all that. Yep. So box feels like you're buying a Rolex or something like that. The box is nice and solid with a bit of a magnetic contact. Okay, so what's in the box? See the heat. I'm assuming these are sort of yeah, the warranty cards. Thank you for buying. Flir 1 quick start guide. Okay, right, we'll put them back in the box. They've even padded the box. Oh, that's good. That's good. Okay, here we go. The camera itself. Wow, that's tiny. That's tiny. Obviously, that's your camera. That would be your the thermal imaging camera, and that's your normal camera when there's a camera. This thing will sort of move the USB port up and down, so it suits in you know, when you've got a phone with the basically with a case on, I should say, and then when it's leaning out, the case is sort of making the edge a bit, you know, thicker, so the port won't reach. What they've done is they've actually designed this, as you sort of twist, this will come out by not so much, but enough just so that it compensates the fact that you can sort of plug in without any sort of a trouble. So that's something to sort of, you know, remember. Very handy feature, the thought of that. Okay, in terms of sort of charging the unit, that'd be charged through a 5-volt adapter via a Type C charging port here. That's your power switch. When it's charging, you'll see it blinking. I'm just trying to remember, is it a blue light or a green light? It's one or the other, but you'll see it blinking. In fact, what I'll do is I'll put it on charge and just show you what's going on. Right, before I do that, I need to get the cables out from the box. Okay, so that's the thingy. What we have here is going to be the cable. That's the Type C, USB to Type C. This, yep. So that will go in at the back of this, and it takes about an hour to charge. And you also get approximately, let's say, about between 40 minutes to an hour. All depends, you know. But it'll give you roughly about an hour's worth of use as well at the same time. So let's sort of put this back. Right before. I know I'm getting backwards and forwards with this, but let me sort of finish off the unboxing side of it. Wow, I like this. This is cute. This is cute. Flipping it. Look at that. It's cute. That's a Note 9. Note 9. So I'm just giving you a comparison as to how big the pouch is. So you can carry it virtually anywhere, absolutely anywhere. And again, I'll give you a comparison with the device size. So it's a Note 9, Samsung Note 9. Look at the size of the actual camera itself. Okay. Now the thing to remember is I have a Type C USB port, and I picked this up at a decent price online. So I could not sort of, I didn't hesitate because I knew that I can find conversion adapters to make it work. But I will be going on to that at a later stage, that things that you need to watch out for. Right, let me put this packaging to a side. Okay, and so okay, I need to charge this and show you how the charging sort of happens, so to speak. I'm going to try with an iPhone charger basically, but there are certain adapters that will work, other adapters it won't work, so it's a bit of a tricky situation. But let's see if it's blinking. No. Hang on. It's got an orange light. No, that means it's not freaking compatible. It's blinking, but it's not compatible with this charger. Right, okay, so the iPhone charger can go away. Let's try a Samsung charger. These are original chargers, by the way. They are not aftermarket chargers. So again, I've got an orange light. Let's see what happens, because otherwise I'll have to plug it into my PC and let it charge via that. Same situation. I've got a green and a green light pulsing. Let me just check with my charger. Let me just check it on my PC and see if the symptom is the same. Just bear with me. I'm just checking on my PC just to see if the because I'm sure. That's a bit interesting, that. Pretty interesting because, well, it is charging, but I actually sort of did a initial charge yesterday and I could not see this flashing, but I only sort of spotted this light was flashing. But now what I'm seeing is that basically that both of the lights are flashing green. And effectively the instruction manuals online says that when it's flashing it means it's charging. So what we're going to do is I'm going to leave that on here for now. Let it charge. Okay, pouch, coming back onto the pouch, it's all padded inside, assuming that this is going to be for your charging cable, and it's nice and soft. It feels solid with a nice little logo on here. Yep, easy to open and close. I love this, absolutely amazing. Now this is the crucial part basically out of the lot. I have a Samsung Note 9 and I needed this to work, and this is a micro USB port, as you can see here. Can you? Okay, so this is a micro USB port. I've got a Samsung Note 9. This is a Type-C port, this is a micro USB. How do I pair them up? Okay, the thing to remember is that you need an Otg adapter. So a micro USB female to a male Type-C adapter, okay, and something like this. Now this is an original adapter from Samsung, and that came in with the phone itself. Unfortunately, this is not an Otg supported. I'll sort of talk in simple terms. What effectively means is that this only does charging, but it will not transfer data. And then the other way around is when you buy an Otg, certain Otg adapter will only do a data transfer, but it will not charge the device. I just don't understand what's going on here. Okay, so that's that. So what I had to do is I had to go to a local retailer and pick up this for a £5. Okay, and that supports the Otg. So I mean, it did say something here. I'm sure. Let's have a look at. Yes, of course, there it is. Okay, So OTG card reader, and it's exactly the same thing. Supports for computers and OTG mobile phones, right? Okay, and then that's the rest is not relevant anyway. Okay, so what I'm going to do is take this out. These are aftermarkets, you know, there's slight imperfections, and I spotted it straight away. But I mean, what do you do? I'm not, you know, I'd prefer to use this, but unfortunately, you know, I'm more of a character where I'd like to use things which are genuine and good quality, and I will pay for it. But I just didn't have the option, you know, and I'd love to utilise this. Does it really matter? Not necessarily, but you've got to be careful that the pinouts are not built. They could very easily sort of damage your port here if the port itself is defective. And how do you reassure yourself that the port is built with quality, is having something produced by a bigger manufacturer, in this case, like say Samsung, for argument's sake. So, but as I said, I've left with very little choice, so I had to pick this up from a local retailer. As I said. Now, coming back onto this, what I'm going to do is, it's recommended not to charge the device while it's in use. That's a definite no-no via the manufacturer. So that's something for you to sort of consider as well. Right, okay, so as I said to you before, I wasn't telling you porcupines. Can you see the lights flashing? Is it flashing? Yes, you can just about see the light flashing. That has stopped flashing now. So the initial charge, it is charging, is done through this method. Once that's charged, I believe there was a manual somewhere actually. So let me just find that manual. So I don't want to be giving you misinformation about the charging side of it. Let me see what I've done with the manual, just sort of. Right, okay, here we go. Okay, so getting started with your Flir 1. Okay, to start using your Flir 1, follow these 4 simple steps. Number 1, charge the camera for 1 hour. Number 2, install the Flir 1 app on your mobile or tablet from App Store or your Play Store, which is obviously for the Android. Turn on the Flir 1 by pressing the power button and wait until steady orange light changes to a blinking green light. This means that the camera is ready for use. Open the Flir 1 app and connect your Flir 1 to your mobile or tablet. The thermal image will display in few seconds. That's pretty straightforward. Now the thing to remember is that they've got 2 versions of the software at the moment as we speak. Is you've got the standard version and the beta version basically, and beta version is a little bit tweaked and it looks a bit different. I prefer the standard at the moment. The other thing to remember is always, before you buy the stuff, always sort of look for the compatibility of handsets basically for the software. So for example, any operating system, let me stop for a second. See if I can find a link where it's actually sort of saved for the support for this device. Did I actually do that? I'm not quite sure. Let's have a quick look and see if I can find that for you guys. If not, then tough luck. There's nothing much I can do. No, I haven't. Okay, let me go onto the manual and see if I've got a manual downloaded onto the PC. Just bear with me, because I just want to clarify something, and if I can find that, then it'd be absolutely smashing to clarify this. Right, okay. So Flir 1. Just bear with me. Right, okay. Here we go. Okay, so this information can quite easily be found on the internet if you type in, say, Flir 1 device compatibility, and that'll bring up with all the models that it's compatible, all the phone that's compatible with. So, for example, we've got Google Pixel 3. OnePlus 6 GT, Google Nexus 6 GP, LG G6, LG V40 ThinQ, sorry, Motorola Moto Z3 Play, Samsung Galaxy A5, Samsung Galaxy Note 9, Samsung Galaxy Tab S4, Hawaii 20 Pro, and then those were the Android. Coming on to iPhone, the compatibilities or the models are compatible with this device is right, okay. iPhone SE and iPhone 5 compatible with the first generation. This is the third generation, so it will not. I'm assuming it will not support. The supported device for this, for the third generation, is iPhone X series, iPhone 8, iPhone 7, iPhone 7 Plus, iPhone 6, iPhone 6 Plus, iPad and iPad Mini. Basically, so those are the supported device that will work in short term. So I'm not going to drag this video into too lengthy. Right, okay, so let's demonstrate how this works. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unplug this as recommended by manufacturer, not to charge this device very nice and gently, because you don't want to be damaging this port basically. You know, quite clearly this is all sort of a kind of a clip-on design, if I'm not mistaken, so you don't want to be dismantling and sort of try and make an attempt to repair the port. If you damage it, more than likely you'll have to send it back to Flir for them to do that. So that port has been inserted. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open up my phone, find the app. So the app is opened. Now it asks to insert the device. Now you don't insert the device up until you press that button, and then the orange light comes on. Wait till the green blinking light. And as you can just about see, so the camera is ready now. Nice and gently. And hip hip hooray. Let's wait for a few seconds. Okay, so I have a bit of a distortion here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to reopen the app. Let's close everything. Don't know why it did what it did there for a second, so let's reopen the app and see what's going on. Okay, so that's better. There's a battery indicator there. I don't know if you can see it. 50% is showing us 49%. I believe this is the calibration. That's your timer. Torch, which will enable the camera's LED. So as you can see, that toggle it off and it goes off, and that's your pointer basically. So when you hit that, you can sort of select specific areas where you want to point, and I believe you can put up to three pointers. That's in fact, I'll do this. That's a menu for the rest of captures, gallery, and settings. What do we have under settings? Support, image settings, the emissivity is matte. If you select this, you've got these various other options. Image rotation is at 0 degree, but again you've got various options here to select from. Temperature selected at unit degree Celsius rather than Fahrenheit. Save location, which I haven't disabled. Auto calibration, which is that toggle what I've said, I've left it on that. Open camera view and start. Right, okay, that's okay. I'm not going to make any comments on that, but that's that. And you've got the drop down menu when you click onto this, and you got the visual camera. I'm getting some distortion on my screen from somewhere. Let's turn off one of the lights. Okay, that's your visual camera. Click again. You got your MSX, which is the combined of the two. So your visual camera and your thermal camera, and then you've got the MXX, which is the combined of the two. which is far better. And then you go onto your thermal camera, and oh, hang on, it's not switched. Thermal camera, and look at this. I mean, this is without MSX. That's what do you make out of things? I mean, all you know, you can't, can you? Not really. So MSX, having MSX is absolutely amazing. I don't know if you can see it there, but there's a bit of a flickering on the screen. Yep, there you go. Let me see if I can bring something over. Yep, you can see all the lines and things, but on the thermal side, let me try this because I don't think you got that before. If you try on the thermal imager, you can barely sort of see anything other than the fact that if there is a hotspot somewhere, so that my hands, let's see what my temperature on my hand is. Woo! 34 degrees Celsius. And you got the pointer with the degrees, the temperature here. Okay, so that's that. Let's enable this. And you've got the other various options, basically the palettes, and you can choose the various colours. I tend to leave it on the iron. IR scale, so they should. Where is it gone? Come on. There it is. Your scales here, so you can sort of toggle this to change the color temperature and you know, scaling of the thermal imaging. So let's sort of take it all the way. That, or I'd prefer sort of a bit on the lower side. Let's see what's going on here. Now remember, these softwares can be a little bit buggy, so it's no surprise to me that if it starts giving me problems, honestly. Right, okay, so it's messing about a little bit at the moment, but that's not the concern here for me, and I'll reset that eventually. You got your lock spam. Parax, I believe that's where you sort of the lines and the image sort of you can sort of toggle this to line it up, but because it's on an auto calibration, this is not going to make any changes. It's not going to look, it's not doing anything, absolutely anything. Right, okay, so the lines remains where they are, and I'm sorry that you can't see this very well, and that's to sort of flick the camera, but it doesn't do anything. It won't be flicking the camera, is it? But there's got to be, what was this? Selfie mode. I don't know how this works, basically, selfie mode. Nothing seems. Oh, I'm going to say it. Yeah, it's literally turning the image upside down, basically, when you're hitting this. So that's a waste of time, that basically. Now the other thing is that there's a beta version of the software, which is here. When you toggle this, it reboots itself, and it's a little bit more simpler. The menus are different. It's a little bit simpler, different, I should say. And your drop-down menus are here. Your MSX is here. Let me see if it finds a. So it's picking up the heat from my hand, and obviously you can do various color temperatures and things like that here. I've left it to the hottest, so oof, look at that, look at the hand. Let's go into the grey. No, so another one here. This looks like you're looking through an eye of a predator in the film Predator. So that's that, but this is something for you to explore yourself. Have a play around with it. Should be okay, but as I said, the thing to remember is to make sure that this thing, if you end up with buying something like this, and you've got a say for example you had a Samsung S7 Edge, and you bought a micro USB type thermal camera, and then down the line you've changed the phone and you upgrade it to an S9, S8, whatever it is basically. The thing to sort of remember is that you will need one of these adapters to make sure that this thing is pairing up and is working. But make sure that it is OTG supported adapter, because the original ones that are out of the box, what you get from the phone, is only for charging and it's not for data transfer. So it's not going to work basically. Right, so I think that's about it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the unit on charge. It's still blinking away, so I'm going to hold it and switch it off. Plug the adapter, and I'm just going to leave it there for about an hour, however long it takes for it to charge. But as I said, it's quite a nice little thing. I like it. It's portable. You can take it anywhere, absolutely anywhere. So, you know, thumbs up for. I think I wish that the refresh rate was a little bit more. It's I believe it's about 9 Hertz. It's okay, it's not necessary to have a high refresh rate, but it would have been nice, because as you're moving the camera you know, side to side, the image would have been a lot more, you know, a little bit more smoother. But does it really matter? Not necessarily. Not necessarily. That's something that I just thought I'd point out to yourself. So yeah, I picked it up on a good price online, you know, a retailer online in UK. But for you, you need to keep on bargain hunting. You will pick one up for cheap, dead cheap. They normally retail in the region of, with VAT, round about near enough 450 to about £500 in the UK. Now the thing to remember, which is very important, is that you've got the first gen, second gen, and the third gen, and even on the Pro series, you've got the LT, which is the light version. And this apparently Flir claims that the Pro one, sorry, the One Pro has 4 times better resolution than the LT version. So that's something for you to sort of consider when you're forking out. And the LT is around about £350. So there's a discrepancy of around about £150. Now, if a manufacturer's claiming that the image quality is 4 times better, then for me it's well worth spending the £150 rather than buying the LT version for £350 and then realizing that it's an absolute bag of horse crap, and then having to spend a further £500, £450–500, and upgrading it to the thingy. So my way of looking at it is I'll probably end up getting something decent, but I didn't pay the full retail whack on this. Lucky enough that I've done a bit of a bargain hunt and I've picked it up for fairly cheap. But yeah, that's all for now. Thank you very much for watching the video, and all the best. Take care. Bye for now.